Hello, everyone. I am Renown Zero, and we're back again talking about the Marvels absolutely bombing at the box office, making it the worst opening weekend in MCU history, which has now been renamed the MCU. This comes to us over from Bounding in the comics. The Brie Larson led the Marvels, which I heard she is a side character in this movie. She doesn't really lead the movie. Bombed in its opening weekend at the box office, posting the worst opening weekend in MCU history without even having to factor in inflation. According to the numbers, the film only grossed 47 million in its domestic opening weekend. The film grossed 6.6 on Thursday, 21.5 million on Friday, 15.3 million on Saturday, 10.2 million on Sunday. The Marvels brought in 63.3 million internationally for a global total of 110.3 million. The top 5 international markets are currently China, UK, Indonesia, South Korea, and France. As noted above, the $47 million domestic opening weekend is the worst in Marvel Cinematic history, without even factoring in inflation. The previous holdout title was The Incredible Hulk. The film grossed $55.4 million back in 2008. 2015's Ant-Man had the worst box office gross if you factor in inflation. The film grossed 57.2 million back in 2015. Factoring inflation, that comes out to 74.3 million in 2023 dollars. And of course, there are many people who were not happy with this, including people like Stephen King. Stephen King was not very happy with what people were saying about the terrible, terrible movie that is The Marvels. Some of the rejection of The Marvels may be adolescent fanboy hate, yuck girls. Let's read the article. Stephen King doesn't care for Marvel movies, but says gloating over The Marvels flopping is very unpleasant, maybe adolescent fanboy hate. Stephen King is not a Marvel movie fan, so I don't know why he even cares. But that didn't stop him from expressing frustration over the adolescent fanboys who are taking pleasure in The Marvels flopping at the box office, because it should have been a better movie. Most of the MCU as of late has been absolute garbage, outside of No Way Home and maybe Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and majority of the movies have flopped. The latest Marvel tentpole with a reported budget in 225 million range, which I believe it's somewhere closer to 300 million at this point, is a box office disaster after opening to 47 million, the lowest start for a film in the MCU. The global debut wasn't much better at 68 million. I believe it was 63 million. Just read that. It appears some toxic trolls, of course. Everybody has to be trolls. Can't just be haha, the movie sucks. Have been celebrating the underwhelming opening specifically because the story centers around 3 female superheroes. That's not the reason. They're celebrating it because it's trash. It doesn't deserve, and they're saying it doesn't deserve to make money because it's trash to them, and is directed by a woman. King is having none of that. Quote, I don't go to MCU movies, don't care for them, but I find this barely mask gloating over the low box office for the Marvels very unpleasant. King wrote on X/Twitter to his 7.1 million followers, why gloat over failure? Because they can. He added a separate post, some of the rejection of the Marvels may be adolescent fanboy hate, yuck girls. No, the hate and rejection of this movie is that the story sucks. The cinematography sucks. Everything about it sucks. It has nothing to do with females. People have enjoyed female-led movies. I mean, the Barbie movie did over $1 billion, and I'm pretty sure that was directed by a woman, and it was marketed towards women, but made over $1 billion. So you can't use this garbage excuse when you had a movie like Barbie do over $1 billion. Larson has been public about having to deal with the toxic social media trolls since her casting as Captain Marvel was announced years ago. When her standalone movie opened in 2019, it was review bombed by misogynistic fans who wanted to bring down the film's community rating on websites such as Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb without even seeing it, which they changed the whole system because of it. She's not going to let any of that stuff destroy her. Laren's Marvel co-star Samuel L. Jackson told Rolling Stone earlier that year, these incel dudes who hate strong women, but, at that time they love Princess Leia, Sarah Connor, Ellen Ripley, but go on, Samuel Jackson, say whatever nonsense your PR person has to tell you to say, or the fact that she's a feminist who has an opinion and expressed it. Everybody wants people to be who they want them to be. She is who she is, and she's genuinely that. The box office numbers for the Marvels are of considerable note given Marvel's rough year. The movie is the second major Marvel tentpole to underperform following Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, which only grossed 476 million worldwide earlier this year. But even that movie opening big with 106 million, and then failed to leg out, proving word of mouth just wasn't there. In the case of the Marvels, it underperformed out the gate. Yep, it absolutely performed terribly out the gate. So again, 6.6 million for Thursday, 21.6 for Friday, 15.2 for Saturday, and 9.2 for Sunday. That's in comparison to something like Five Nights at Freddy's that had a $20 million budget and absolutely is destroying the Marvels and making massive amounts of profit. It even did better as far as opening weekend right here. 10.3 million, even while being on streaming, still did better than the Marvels opening weekend. So it made 80 million, almost double what the Marvels did. And it's sad that something like that can destroy an MCU film. So it made 39.6 million on Friday, 24.2 million on Saturday, 16.07 million on a Sunday. And it was open to less theaters than the Marvels was. About 400 less theaters and did way better on its opening weekend. Absolutely sad. But you have people like Actual Fandom, right? Who says, because Sierra Whiskey had this to say, the MCU was effed from this moment on. This was, of course, an Endgame with the girl power moment. If you notice, she's now Black Panther. She's no longer existent. He made a terrible Multiverse of Madness film with her. And now she has the Marvels, which is bombing at the box office. These silly guys throwing around the variety piece won't read an article full of hard facts and data because they go against their narrative. What narrative? This narrative that this film is bombing, that most of these films involving these people have bombed, except like I said, for Guardians of the Galaxy. Well, this is a flop. This is currently bombing. Stuff like that. You have Jesse Earl who says half the reason these franchises still exist is because women kept them alive when they were dormant and go to see them alongside men when it's men focused. But heaven effing forbid you watch a single movie with a woman in the lead role, let alone one with two non-white leads. Really? According to Box Office Pro, the audience for the Marvels was 61% male. So where do you get off saying that women kept it alive? Every single Marvel film has been majority men watching them. So what in the absolute shit are you talking about, woman? Sit down and shut up, because you don't know what the heck you're talking about. Seriously. Let's continue right here. The film did meet box office projections from Box Office Pro, who predicted the film would gross between 35 mil and 49 mil. However, those projections were significantly reduced in the month leading up to the film's release. The outlet originally projected the film would gross between 50 million and 75 million in the opening weekend and go on to earn between 121 million and 189 million in its entire domestic run. That's actually very bad. As I said, 61% of the audience was male. They also note that 67% of moviegoers were over the age of 25. Finally, they note that 45% of ticket sales were in premium formats. In comparison, Captain Marvel's box office saw 55% of moviegoers being male and 63% being older than 25. Premium formats only made up 34% of ticket sales. As for the audience reaction, the movie received an abysmal B from CinemaScore. For comparison, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania also received a B, as did Eternals. Both Thor: Love and Thunder and Doctor Strange and Multiverse of Madness received a B+, and Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 had an A. Box office analyst OMB Reviews react to the poor box office performance, declaring, quote, goes to show you that if you make a bunch of films within a short amount of time and you don't actually give fans what they want, because instead you're deciding to push various aspects of identity politics and other nonsense, and guess what? People are going to stop going to your movies. OMB Reviews would also respond to arguments that the box office was so bad because the film lacked promotion from its main actors, such as Brie Larson, Teyonah Parris, and Iman Vellani. He stated, well, the fact that they had even just a few days to promote this movie and the film still came in at the bottom end of their estimates tells me that promotion doesn't do anything. That promotion, that going on late night shows, that does not really move the needle anymore. There's just no evidence to really suggest that. The key to kind of understanding this is actually going to be looking ahead towards a film like the Hunger Games prequel coming out soon, because that film would have had at least a couple of weeks worth, or at least a full week worth of promotional materials. Yes. So at the end of the day, You also have people who are throwing around the racist narrative, like Blurred Central. I wonder why people would be super happy about this particular Marvel film not performing as well as the others. Of course, we have Clifton Duncan here showing off the perfect tweet to this evergreen tweet. Audiences don't hate diverse characters. What they hate is being slammed as bigots for rejecting bad work from pretentious, unskilled activists posing as writers. If the demography of your characters becomes more important than your story will probably suck. Exactly. Between the incels on here and the rage farming on YouTube, this project is starting to feel sabotaged. Huffing that weapons grade copium, says J.A. Douglas. Got Doomcock here. Maybe it's for the same reason I walked out after 47 minutes of empty fluff, boring exposition, and a general boredom arising from an unfocused script written and rewritten by talentless hacks that have no business drawing a paycheck. Yeah, that's the ticket. Yeah, I would tend to believe Doomcock more than this weirdo, right? You lot think it's a race issue when it's a quality issue. This time last year versus this year. We have Black Panther Wakanda Forever, which flopped anyway, but it opened to 181 million domestically versus 47 million domestically for the Marvels. So at least for some people, Black Panther 2 was much better than this trash. This is lazy. Even the most hopeful and fervent MCU fans were not excited about this movie from trailers. This phase lost the plot a while ago with both shows and movies being below par generally. There is no cohesiveness. Captain Marvel has been wasted as a character in my opinion. So because it was garbage. People have been criticizing Marvel's downturn post Endgame for years. Also add Brie in this, the amount of hate that woman has been getting for simply saying that the industry gives preference for white men is disgusting. They have been wanting to see everyone in this movie to fail the moment it was announced. So everyone who didn't see the film is now racist. Whatever helps you cope. So why was The Flash, Shazam 2, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania such massive box office flops? Yep, all of these were flops, and these were all led by white males, by the way. So it's not an excuse. You're just using that same garbage card that Disney shows, Marvel shows, and the Disney Marvel executives always use, besides superhero fatigue being one of the reasons they think it's flopping. When people like superhero stuff, they just don't like your superhero stuff. At the end of the day, continue to make your garbage films. You're going to continue to flop. You're going to continue to wonder why nobody wants to watch your terrible films. And you're going to keep using the same excuses over and over until eventually you run out of money. Thank you all for checking out this video. I really do appreciate all the new subscribers, returning subscribers, new viewers, and returning viewers. If you do like this video, hit the like button, comment below if you feel about all this, subscribe for more content, and hit the bell for notifications. Set the bell to all, that way you get notifications anytime I post a new live stream or video, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.